vacations, but somebody's got to hang in the office. Fortunately for us, Coach Gundy lets us grab those guys when they do office time, and we had a chance to talk to Coach Duffie the night before the spring game at the end zone, Garrett's place, and I know his son's about the oldest son. I think is heading to Vegas to play in an AAU tournament with Garrett's team. But um, we had a great conversation that night leading into the spring game. But probably not everybody got to hear that because it was a special show we were doing. So certainly wanted to get Coach Duffy on here. And Coach, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, Robert. It's kind of quiet in the office. It's good to kind of get a little peace of mind and settle in a little bit, get focused for the fall camp.
Well, and before we get into the just the football part of it, I know you can't talk about names or anything like that, but you guys are just coming off a month that had to feel kind of different because you'd gone 15 months without doing any in-person recruiting and with COVID-19 and you guys as coaches, the recruiting analysts, Todd Bradford. Um, the whole staff had done a tremendous job. The digital artists and people that do those kind of things for you, because during COVID-19, Oklahoma State continued to recruit really well. But what did it feel like finally getting guys back on campus for visits and back into in-person recruiting again?
It was great from the standpoint of just getting to be around the kids. It's been a long time, having a person face to face contact. Obviously, the recruiting department had done a tremendous job of trying to organize everything and prepare us uh, so everything was on schedule. But just to have that amount of people on campus again without any practice, obviously it's a challenge. So I commend our recruiting staff, the analysts. Man, the analysts were phenomenal of running around and letting us focus on the kids and the parents. They kind of do some things behind the scenes and no one ever really sees. We got tremendous analysts that do a great job.
Yeah, with the advent of the analysts and which frees you guys up a little bit and kind of shares the work that goes in and evaluating and finding and isolating the guys you really want to recruit. Is Oklahoma State in the best position it's been in from a recruiting standpoint in a long time? I think Coach Gundy feels that way, but you guys are on the front lines there, and are you anxious to be able to get back out on the road and evaluate some?
I think so. I mean, I enjoy recruiting, so getting out and seeing kids personally with your own eye to me is always very good because you want to know what you're buying, or not necessarily buying. That may be the wrong term to use, but it's not like this way over COVID. It's been like Amazon, right? Whatever gets delivered is yours. So just
Yeah.
making
Well,
sure.
you don't get to see them in person.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes, you want to see, you want to try on something in the dressing room before you actually buy it, and that aspect was a little tough, but we we were more sure just because we'd had so much time to evaluate, and when you develop so many relationships in the same recruiting area, you grow to trust some people with their words of it is what they say it is. So that was good. But just to get back out is really good. And to answer your question about if Oklahoma State's in a better place, I think that would be more so for Coach Gundy to say. But I know for me, uh, my job is so much easier with the analysts that I've had here. Of just being able to just be detailed and focused on the certain guys that we deem our guys and fit our culture and our scheme of what Coach Knowles wants. So it's allowed me to develop a personal relationship for a long time, over time. So I actually build a bond with the guys and the families, and we get on the same page of a team of doing what we want them to do. First of all, as a student off the field and as a person, and then that makes the playing stuff and training things very, very easy to do because it's a bond and a trust of what the plan is. Just stick to the plan and expect some adversity to occur, and we work together to get through it.
Well, and here's another thing that I think is important. You look at, and then we'll get into the ball part of it after this. But sometimes you get lucky. The situation that popped up last year with Kendall Daniels, and Oklahoma State ends up with him for whatever reason. Um, you look at the guys that you recruited. From the secondary and corner aspect, everybody from the Smith kid at Midwest City to you were down there in North Texas, but those guys are all on campus now, and I know it's going to be exciting to. I think you had a few of those guys in the fall or in the spring rather, but to have all those guys in for fall camp, and that's a good looking group. I know you were talking about wanting to maybe be able to see them in person and try it on in the dressing room before you get them, but for a class that was recruited via the internet and Zoom and just watching tape and so forth, ended up being a pretty good looking class.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm very pleased with the guys. I'm pleased with their families. That was probably the the main correlation, and it all starts at home, especially in a time like we went through as a country, with all the uproar from COVID and just culturally, the differences. The parents stayed on track. We had a lot of issues internal that we fixed. Um, these parents never wavered, which kind of gave me an idea like we on the right guy. Um, we got past all the differences, and they've been phenomenal here in the last 3 weeks of adjusting. It's not. I mean, it's tough when you come in here to coach glass in June, and you've been kind of a senior there for the past couple of weeks, floating around in Texas and Louisiana, in Oklahoma. Guys in Oklahoma just kind of hanging out, and then we turn up the heat with a little structure and discipline. And these guys are doing well over in the academic center with our academic team. Miss Nikki, Miss Marilyn does a phenomenal job with that. So just the transition from being a guy floating around high school to coming to Stillwater in June and competing with guys who've been here consistently due to COVID for a year. Like, these guys know what's going on. We haven't missed a beat with the young guys. They catching up pretty fast. I'm excited about the whole secondary as a whole. I think
Yeah.
Coach Hammersmith does a great job with the safeties, and together we combine this thing and make a pot of stew. So it's been good.
Well, and I've asked you about this before, the kind of team coaching back there, because while he coaches up safeties, you coach up corners, you guys cross over, you meet a lot together, you're not afraid to coach each other's guys. It's kind of a group, a team effort back there, and I would think that's a fun way to do the secondary.
Well, I mean, I think Hammersmith feels the same way. I think that's the only way. We never look at who giving up the plays. It's us, right? We trying to minimize explosive scoring, whether it's pass or run. We feel like it's our job to do that, and I wouldn't want it any other way with any other guy.
And you've had a couple of your recent pupils. AJ's up in Cleveland. Rodarius did a nice job out here in spring at during mini camp, and the Giants really like his length and what he's bringing to the table. So you got some guys in the NFL, but you look at this group. Hammer, you guys have got the three safeties that are ultra veteran, and then you've got Jarek Bernard Converse at one corner, Christian at the other, and then some young pups and Corey and Jabbar and even beyond that, there's some others as well. But those guys they're showing they can play. Corey came up with a monster play in the bowl game, but the secondary looks with this group and how veteran and experienced and many reps they've had, this looks like as good as it's been here.
We pretty deep. We're pretty experienced. I think the unseen thing is the chemistry. These guys like each other. As a coach, pretty quick if they don't. And I think it's genuine care. I think all those guys think the guy behind them can play or the guy in front of them can play. I don't think we're pretty transparent of who's good and who needs to improve and how we can get better as a unit. And in this conference, man, you need to have multiple guys that can play as starters that come off the bench. We trying to decipher who that's going to be. It's so competitive, man. When you think about Holmes, Bernard, DeMarco Jones, you got Muhammad, you got Corey Black, Jordan Reagan, and then you got a slew of young guys just coming in that are smart and athletic and fast, that are eager to compete, and low maintenance off the field. I like where we are, and I like where we're headed in the back end.
And again, when you talk about this, um, how valuable are guys like Jarek and Christian? And I know Christian hadn't been here, but this will be his second full season coming over as a grad transfer from Missouri. But when you have guys that are that long in the tooth and that much experience, you know they kind of serve as coaches on the field. They kind of help you with your job.
There's no doubt. It happens every day because I cannot do football things with the guys in the summer, but those guys can run the show. All I have to do is say, I like y'all to work on this, and it's this drill. At this time, I don't worry about skipping reps at all. I think they hold them accountable. But the crazy thing is those young guys, like Jabbar Muhammad, Corey Black, DeMarco, and Jordan Reagan, they can run it also. They that type of personality and accountable guys, dependable guys. I trust these guys, man. I don't think they don't keep me up at night, which is unusual with the position I coach. You normally been, but it's been that way for a while. Rodarius and AJ, low maintenance guys, man. I didn't have to, and it always can be an issue. They're student athletes in college, but so far it's been pretty quiet with these guys. They kind of focus. They've seen what focus could do for you. With Rodarius came in and he just progressed and developed and graduated and stayed to graduate. After having a brother that leave early and fall in the draft, he stayed. He got drafted. He wanted to go a little higher, but he's in a good spot with the Giants. I talk to him when he's not on his own. The good thing is he won't answer me during the day, so I know he's locked in, and he thinks he's in a good spot up there, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for AJ. There's been some good guys, and Patman came back. Pip, I talk to him all the time. Kevin Peterson was back this summer. Lafkin comes back all the time. I think Ramon is in Canada, playing around up there, and obviously Mike Hunter is back on staff with me. So Mike is like a walking, talking model of what you want the guys to be. He played in the league for 4 or 5 years. He's married, got 2 kids. He's a businessman, very professional. So it's great. I like where we are with the group.
Yeah, and there's when you start bringing up all those guys that are back around. I saw those guys at camp Peterson and Tyler Patman and Shamil Gary was out there too. So it's kind of cool that those guys have that desire to come back, and that's what you want. Hey, last thing, because I know you got to get out of here, but um, I was going to throw this out to you. You mentioned Rodarius and AJ. I thought it was kind of cool. Just at the end of the mini camps, they announced that the week of their preseason game, the Browns and the Giants are going to train for a week together in Ohio. So that'll bring Rodarius back not only with AJ, but his brother Greedy is with Cleveland, and so that'd be kind of cool. Those guys will get to spend a week in training camp together.
When is that? I don't know if I can sneak away for that one. That would be good to see. I always told Rodarius the whole time that Greedy was better, and he always said that he was better than Greedy. And AJ would always say, "I'm better than both of those guys." So I know who's faster.
Well,
Greedy's faster.
yeah, they'll get a chance. I want to say it's the second week or third week of August. I think we're going to be a little busy.
Yeah, I'll be busy. I think I'll be tied up at that time. But I won't. I'm tied up every day with these kids of mine going through baseball and basketball. It's been a fast summer already. I thought I was going to get off, but my vacation is watching them.
Yeah, you got a AAU tournament coming up in Vegas. I was told. So
Yeah,
good.
that's unusual, man. I was all for that trip. I don't know why I want to go there, but it'll be a good time. I like the way Coach Schubert coaches the guys. He's very hard on my kids. I want my kids to get coached hard. And without me, when I can kind of pep them back up and be a dad, I like them going through adversity. We were down in Texas this weekend, and Memphis took a strike to end the game. We lost 7-10. He struck out looking at a pitch, and I thought that was awesome. I like when he loses. I really do. They win too much. I want them to lose and handle adversity and get embarrassed a little bit and get up off the ground and swing the bat again.
Well, I've seen both your kids. I think they know how to get off the ground pretty good. Hey, Coach, I appreciate it, and again, enjoy the month of July, and congratulations on everything. Looking forward to the upcoming season. I like the fact that you know what everybody's kind of picking OSU down in the middle of the pack a little bit. I like that.
Oh yeah, I want to be the underdog every week. That'll be good. We're not good enough. We're still working on it.
Hey, Coach, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you for your time.
All right, Tim Duffie, Cowboys corners coach, and again, one of the guys that doesn't. I don't think he gets nearly enough credit. He is one of the top recruiting coaches in the country. Does a terrific job. Crosses over. You know, not only recruits guys on defense, but he'll help out other coaches, other positions, because he's really good at making that connection, whether it's with the kids or the parents. So.